Welcome back. Welcome back. My bad. That is my complete bad. That was so rough. But welcome back. Welcome back. This is Hoops and Brews. We haven't done a virtual one in the I don't want to what like 3 weeks probably. I
Maybe
want to say
2 3 weeks. Yeah, something like that.
probably 2 3 weeks. Anyway, whatever. We are back. We are here. Obviously just want to give you guys yes, I first and foremost want to give you guys an episode before training camp starts. Clippers media day is for the Clippers is Monday. I think most of the media days are on Monday or Tuesday of next week. But Clippers media day is Monday. We will be there. We have been confirmed for Clippers media day. This will be, I guess, the fourth one. I want to say probably the third or fourth media day that we'll be at, which is cool. So shout out all y'all for being a part of this journey over the past couple of years. So yeah, looking forward to giving you guys content from that. Joe, how you been, brother?
I've been good, man. I think today's been fun. NFL Sunday has been lit so far. A lot of funny, good stuff happening. The NFL season has actually been just great overall so far. But I've been good. Heading back in the work week next week. But yeah, I'm good. I'm excited to talk about Dame Lillard and all this NBA noise.
Well, yeah, I mean, let's jump right into it. Obviously, what day did this happen? Was it last weekend or was it like literally this week? I feel like it
It
was like
was like it
Tuesday.
was either Thursday or it was like Thursday, no?
It was that late in the week.
I think so. It wasn't that long ago, right? It was Wednesday or Thursday, or I don't know, one of them days.
Either way, I woke up, I think, from a nap, and shout out my homie Dan. Um, every time an NBA trade happened, Dan will text me, "Pavy, wake up!" Just text me, "Wake
You
up."
know your ass sleep. You know your ass sleep.
Yo, wake up. But the funny thing he'll do is he'll always be like XYZ got traded to the Clippers. So I woke up and I was like, fuck out of here. Dame we don't know damn Clippers. And I looked and surely enough, Dame was got traded to the Milwaukee Bucks, which uh I think was a surprise. Yeah, I think was. I mean, granted, we did hear rumblings about Toronto. I think there was a report about the Bucks, as well. But Dame is on the Bucks. Drew Holiday was on the Blazers. Aiden was part of that deal, as well. Yusuf Nurkic was part of that deal. So I do want to break the deal down from all aspects. I guess we should start with, I guess, the Bucks side of it first. What do you think about Dame going to the Bucks?
I think it was a heck of a move. I think it was a power move by the Bucks management. I think it was a response to Giannis going on all these podcasts and going touring
I
around,
want to
hinting at.
win. I want to win. And if the Bucks give me the
Oh,
best chance to win, then I will be there. If they do not, then I will have to look into other things because I want to win.
yeah. Basically, I think it was about 3 or 4 times. I think he went on and said something similar to what you just said
It was all summer.
over
It was literally all summer on different podcasts.
multiple different times. So I think the general management of the Bucks, they were probably listening. They got the message and they capitalized on it. They did what they had to do to keep their generational talent happy in Milwaukee, to say the least. And they did it like the best way you could possibly do. Acquiring Damian Lillard, top 75 all time, one of the greatest 3 point shooters ever, arguably the second, third best 3 point shooter after Steph. A guy who bends defenses like one or two guys possibly can in the league. A guy who has had his own successes in the playoffs and the regular season. To something like this, something he's never played with a player on the caliber of Giannis's level. Dame has never. He's only played in like one Christmas game his entire career. He has never really been on like a stage like this where with expectations. But if anybody's built for it, it's him. He's known for showing out in the clutch and getting the job done with his team. But he's never really had that. He's never been on the team that's been favored to win the championship. And once that trade happened, immediately the odds put Bucks as favorites. I think it was a great move. They'll probably miss Jrue Holiday a little bit because of obviously his defense and how good he is for the team and whatnot. But I think it was a drastic upgrade. I think Giannis and Dame immediately once they step on the court, it'll be a top three, top two duo in the league, if not the best. I think that the fact that one of them dominates from inside, the other one dominates from outside is going pretty much just about it should break the league. I expect them to win at least if healthy. It should be a 60-win team because you still have Giannis, you still have Brook Lopez, you still have Chris Middleton, you still have Bobby Portis, you still have. They did lose Grayson Allen, who I think was a solid role player for them over the years. He's been good for them,
They
but
got Malik Beasley though; they'll be fine.
yeah, they did pick up Malik Beasley. They still have they got a new coach though, but they still have a really deep roster. And I just think that at first pick and roll, the fact that the pick and roll is going to start from about 40 feet out, and you can't go under it by any means, and you got to. It just sounds like a headache for defenses, and I just think that there will be just absolutely dominant. This was a strong power move. I'm not willing to. I'm not calling them the favorites in the entire league. I am giving them the favorites of the East, though. I think this puts them over the edge. Just those two players, a veteran like Damian Lillard to come on and to play with Giannis. I think that this is an all world move and A+ for Milwaukee. That's what I rate them on this trade.
In my opinion, obviously, if you had the chance to go out and get Dame Lillard, you go out and get Dame Lillard. Like, unless you got to give up Giannis, you go out and get Dame Lillard. Like you said, Dame Lillard is probably, well, not probably, the NBA named him one of the best 75 players ever. I don't really disagree with that. Obviously, he's 33 years old, but I mean, I think last year, what did Dame average last year? He averaged 30 points last year, so it's not like Dame is showing any signs of slowing down. I do think that when guards hit their mid 30s, it gets a little interesting when guards hit their mid 30s. But now he has less on him than what he had in the past, and also Giannis has less on him. I mean, like, let's be real. Like, I mean, if we notice over the past couple of years, the Giannis that we've seen the past couple of years was not the Giannis that we've seen from his MVP years. He's been hurt more often. He was dealing with knee injuries, so it also like lessens the load on Giannis offensively. And I think that Giannis can go back to focus, not solely on defense, but can put more of his focus back on defense, which is a thing that, which I'm crying, which is a thing, which is a thing that I think will be most important for them, especially making this trade and losing a guy like Jrue Holiday, who I think we can all say is, when you're talking about defense from guards, has to be one of the best three guard defenders in the NBA. I think we can all pretty much agree on that. So I do think that if the only thing I fear is that I wonder if you traded offense for defense, and I don't necessarily know if Dame fixes one aspect of your issues, right? The aspect being of late game situations. I felt like Giannis had the task of handling the ball way too much, like doing basically halfback dives or screening rolls. He's don't come out screen and shoot. So now you playing in a very congested area. So what the one thing Dame does do is in late game situations, you probably have one of the better clutch players in the NBA. Handle the ball for the most part, from what we have seen, can definitely get downhill on pretty much any big in the league. And can pull up and shoot the ball from wherever. But at the same time, the last time you saw the Bucks fully healthy, they did win the NBA championship. Even
that was the last time they was fully healthy.
The last time they was fully healthy, which was the 2021 season, they did win the NBA championship. Now, granted, Middleton had his struggles with the MCL even last year, which I thought was somewhat of an aberration because Giannis did literally have a bruised tailbone for 3 games. Which granted, he was on the court, so when you out there, but you can't tell. Yes, this year, but you can't tell me the bruised tailbone didn't affect the man. So at the same time, I guess I wonder if it's an overreaction, but at the same time, if Dame Lillard is dangled down in front of you, you go and you get Damian Lillard. But I just wonder if they traded offense for defense. And at the same time, I don't know if this fixes, for instance, right? Let's say that, now granted, let's say that you have Dame on that basketball team last year, right? And Jimmy Butler is doing the same thing that he was, doing. How does adding Dame, outside of this, I will say this. You may think, well, okay, if we got a man like Jimmy, or we got Tatum, or we got, I don't know, whoever else going absolutely insane as a guard or a wing, now we have somebody else who can also match that firepower. I will give you that. But at the same time, what the fuck is Dame supposed to do defensively if Jimmy Butler is doing the thing that he was doing last year?
No, but that's just not his role. That's not his role to come in there and play defense.
So, but what I'm saying, who guarding somebody? I just want to know. I think one of the main issues with the Bucks was them being able to guard guards and guard wings. How does this address this issue?
This doesn't address that issue.
So listen. I just wonder if you just traded offense for defense. Now, granted, it might be incredible. You talking about the pick and roll with Giannis? I want to see the pick and roll Brook Lopez. Both of them motherfuckers can shoot.
I feel you. And to be fair,
go ahead.
Jrue Holiday was out there when Jimmy was torching like that.
Now, granted, to be fair, Jrue Holiday. Now, listen, Jrue Holiday did not do himself any favors. Jrue Holiday did not do himself any favors by getting torched like that. But then my question would be this: Jimmy Butler plays small forward. Jrue Holiday plays point guard, shooting guard. Why the fuck was he guarding the forward?
I mean, he's supposed to be able to do that.
But I'm just saying, why is he guarding the forward? That's just awesome. I'm just saying, like, I don't think, like, granted, like I said, I love the move. If you have a chance, please do not mistake me for saying I don't like the move. If you have a chance to go out and get Damian, I don't know the man middle name, Lillard. If you have a chance to go out and get Damian Lillard, you go out and get Damian, especially when you didn't sell the house. You still have Middleton, who I think even lessens his role. I think he's maybe taking a step back since the injury, but I think it lessens his role, and you can also expect less from him as well, which can bode well from him in situations. Like now, you expect Dame to be that guy. Middleton can even be that in certain situations, that second guy, down the stretch, which I think, can be helpful for them. But like I said, I wonder if you just traded offense for defense. And again, the last time you saw the Bucks healthy, they did win the NBA championship. And granted, I know we was talking on Twitter like, oh, I expect the Bucks to run through the East for the next 5 seasons. Excuse me? How they gonna do that? Somebody on my Twitter said that. I think it was LB Smalls. I think this is her name. How they gonna do that?
Years?
Yeah, how they gonna do that? Again, I think this buys you time. I think in best case scenario, you have a 2 to 3 year window again in which you say, we quote unquote may have improved our chances, barring injury, for the next 2 to 3 years to maybe go out there and win a championship with this new iteration of this Bucks roster. But again, I still don't think like this trade addresses like the major. Okay. It does address one major issue, but I wonder if it created another major issue.
Was Chris Middleton out there in the playoffs this year?
He was out there. He was out there.
Maybe with this being said, maybe he can take a big role defensively. They don't have to look at him like
he can. Maybe he can. I don't know.
I mean, yeah, but
maybe he can.
That's the biggest challenge for this team. I feel like I'm not sure who they hired as a head coach today. I'm not sure. Adrian Griffin, but yeah, that's something I feel like he has to address.
I mean, again, just like look at the starting lineup. I'm just guessing. I'm guessing. I don't know. I'm guessing. Maybe you put Crowder in the starting lineup. I don't know, but maybe it's Dame Lillard, Middleton, Crowder, Giannis, and Lopez. If Crowder still has things left from his Phoenix days, his Utah days, okay, cool. I don't know how old Crowder is. I think he might be like 34 or whatever. 33. Maybe he still had things left. All right. I just wonder again, like I said, if you sub one issue out for another issue. Now, granted, like I said, the thing about Dame Lillard is you think if we got Jimmy out there going nuclear, we got another guy on our side who can go nuclear as well. So what you want to do about it? And again, also, Giannis and Brook Lopez, I think both of those guys need to go out and try to win Defensive Player of the Year because they going to need it. Because again, Dame isn't Steph defensively. Steph, I think especially now.
When we say pre-2016 Steph defensively, I think after that, I think he's been pre-2016. After that, he has been a liability on defense.
Fair, but at least Steph tried. I don't know if Dame tries. I don't know if he tries. Now, granted, we've never seen him in a situation maybe where he was even asked to try.
But where he had backline defense like this either. He never had 2 defensive player of the year candidates behind him.
You are correct. Listen. I'm not arguing with you. I think best case scenario, like you said, 62 games, and we looking at a championship. My other scenario, also based off some other moves I have seen with other teams that we will get to later on, is did you just sub out one issue for another issue? That's my only question.
That's true, but it is an offensive error. I mean, like you said, now we got somebody to go back at him. Jimmy getting that 40 ball. We got somebody who could also go out there and get you 40.
For instance, right?
What's up?
Okay, let's say you put Dame Lillard on this team that won the championship. Do they win the championship?
Dame Lillard on which team? On the
other Bucks team. If you sub out Dame for Jrue Holiday, knowing what Devin Booker can do and knowing what Chris Paul was still capable of doing at that point in time in his career. The fact that you thinking this hard about it is the issue. The fact that you thinking this hard about it is basically the full issue. The fact that you thinking this hard about it is literally the issue.
That's tough. I could see it, yeah, but it's not a no. It's tough, yeah.
That's again, that is my whole thing. I wonder if you just traded out offense for defense.
That's fair, but I just think the offense you're getting is it's not just any type of offense. This is not fucking Jalen Green offense. This is not like some mid-tier offense. This is Damian Lillard we talking about. That's the only thing. It's not just regular offense, you know?
Listen, I'm not arguing with you. I get it. I feel you. And again, like I said, best case scenario, you get 2 to 3 years of still prime Damian Lillard before he maybe starts slowing down. You put that with Middleton. You put that with Giannis, who's still, I think, 2 years away from 30, or 1 year away from 30. I'm also not somebody who thinks Giannis is going to have a LeBron type prime. I think that Giannis's prime may be over when he's like 33, 34 years old. I don't think he'll be a guy who maybe, still doing XYZ things when he's 36, 38 years old. So
that's fact. Let's get them skills together.
For sure. So you also get a guy whose timeline lines up, who in theory, hasn't won, who all intents and purposes, from everything we've heard about Dame, is that he's thirsty to win. So I think that, it lines up right with the timeline of the basketball team that you currently have. So granted, like I said, I'm going to say it one more time, it could go incredible. And if you have a chance to go out and get Damian Lillard, you go out and you get Damian Lillard, especially looking at the fact of Jrue Holiday at the same time. I think he's 33 years old. He was on a 1-year deal. It's going to be the last year of his deal. It's kind of hard to get people to just sign with the Bucks, as in like big time figures to just sign with the Bucks. Now you got a guy, let's say, even if it does completely break down, let's say it goes absolutely horrible, right? You lose in the second round every year and Giannis won't out. I think you can still get Giannis off and get Dame off, even get Middleton off, reset your franchise, and it's not like
it's worth the shot. It's worth the shot. You put the pieces there, you just gotta see if it work out.
For sure. So, I guess we can leave it there as far as that end of the trade goes. Let's talk about the other end of the trade, which is the Phoenix Suns. The Phoenix Suns traded away DeAndre Ayton. They received Yusuf Nurkic. They received Grayson Allen. They received, who was it? It was Nurkic, Grayson Allen, Nassar Little, and was there somebody else that they received as well?
I think so. I don't know off the top of my head who it was though.
But basically, they received rotation players. Yusuf Nurkic, and they traded away DeAndre Ayton. Do you think this lessens the Suns' chances, or do you think this ups the Suns' chances in I guess winning a championship, which is ultimately what they want to do?
At face value, my original reaction was like, I know they obviously they get worse, because I feel like Ayton is a much better player than Nurkic in his trajectory and whatnot. He's much better than Nurkic in most areas. Nurkic got him in a couple areas, like probably better passer. But when you really think about it, I think actually this did help the Suns, because I don't think the Suns were maximizing Ayton's talent. I don't think they could. And I don't think they could. I think that his relationship with, I'm not sure if it was with management, maybe a couple players, but I think it was broken. I think they probably were a little bit overdue to trade Ayton. They waited too long, and you weren't going to bring back a disgruntled Ayton, disgruntled team. So you just kind of had to move on, and get back is Nurkic, who's a veteran big man who can pass the ball really well. He's really aggressive. He can rebound. He can protect at the rim a little bit, but they don't have to close with him. That's why you got a bowl. Maybe they don't want to close to him, or they want to see what he's capable of. I know. In the past, Bobo has not been a good defender, but he's under good veteran leadership, and he's on the winning team. So hopefully, and he has all the tools. He has not all the tools. He has a lot of the tools we want to see in an elite defender between his wingspan, his jumping ability, and his height. But I think this drastically does help the Suns out a lot. You get a big man who's going to buy into everything that you're doing, who can get greedy for you, who can grab those type rebounds for you. A lot of situations last year where Ayton simply just was not there. And I'm not saying from face value, you probably say it was because he's soft or whatever, but I just think that he was just completely over the Suns organization. Maybe he had beef with a player. Obviously, there was clear rumors he wasn't cool with Monty. And just the fan base in general was real tough on him, and he checked out. So a lot of those plays that you would need from your center that last year to advance to the next rounds and whatnot, Ayton wasn't making them, and because he wasn't there. Now you got a veteran big man coming in there who's going to buy in, and also he's a much better passer than Ayton. He can make really good passes. Maybe they can dump it down to him. He's going to get those rebounds. He's going to do those things you need from a big. Maybe get you a post hook every once in a while. He can hold down the paint for you. And I think this was a good move for them, considering the fact that I think that their relationship with Aiden was irreparable. Also, really love the Grayson Allen pickup. A big criticism on the Suns was they need more rotation players. They need more wings. They need guys who can cut some slack off Beal, Booker. These guys who can come in and give them real minutes. Grayson Allen has played plenty of playoff minutes, so I think it was a good trade for the Suns, considering everything I just said. I feel like it was a good move for them.
I'm with you. I'm trying to pull up so they got from the Blazers, they got Nurkic, Nasir Little, Keon Johnson was the other person, and they got Grayson Allen. The reason I do like it for the Suns, one reason is I think Nurkic will be. Couple things I saw I didn't like. I didn't like people trying to act like Nurkic was literally a better player than DeAndre Ayton. You have lost your fucking mind. You have lost every inch of your mind. But I do
mean,
no stop. No.
I mean,
no,
based off,
no, we can't. What metric are you going based off of? That's gonna say he better than that man.
Let me look up. Let me see.
Put their side by side stats up, player to player.
I feel like I don't even know. I just feel like it's closer than what than you acting like it is.
And look at the percentages. Don't forget them either.
How you spell Jusuf? Jusuf?
Just put Nurkic. Can't be too many of them in the world. It probably is, but just put Nurkic. Can't be too many of them that we know.
13-9.
Mm-hmm.
I think that's his career stats.
Mm-hmm.
It ain't basically damn near the same thing.
Show me the percentages. Shooting well from the field.
51% from the field, 36% from three.
Did you 30? Okay. Now show me Aiden. Tell me Aiden.
I got you. Hurry. Based on what they'll get from each other, I don't think Aiden is. Last year he was 18-10. 18 and 10. 58% and 29% from three.
Exactly. So look,
but in the playoffs he was rookie. In the playoffs he was 13-9. Nurkic.
I mean, what? But listen. Listen. What I was gonna say is this. I think as a fit for the Suns, Nurkic is less maintenance than what Aiden is. Like I told you, Aiden got put in a really weird situation. Like you come in, you the number one pick. Most number one picks don't come into a situation in which you already have a established quote unquote franchise player. In Devin Booker, like most number one picks come into a situation where it's like you the number one pick, you got here's the ball, do whatever you want to do with it. Then you get Chris Paul in there, and now you guys have just completely accelerated your timeline. And it's supposed to be Book and Aiden, and y'all gonna be the next Shaq and Kobe for the next 10 years for Phoenix. But then you get Chris Paul in there, and then you guys go to the fucking finals. So now you guys are expected to win, and you have accelerated your timeline, and maybe your timeline doesn't match up with their timeline. You're still trying to establish yourself as a elite player in this league. They're trying to win championships. Sometimes that don't always match up. So I think that he would be less maintenance for the Phoenix Suns. Also, Nurk is a bigger body than Aiden, right? So like, let's say you play against Jokic, right?
Jokic and beating guys.
Like you think that he has the physical stature to be able to like lean on him a little bit more and offer a little bit more resistance than what Aiden does based off his like body stature. Based off of that, like Aiden, and also like I said, Aiden wants post ups. Nurk really gotta do nothing but like set screens for him and give him the ball every now and then. You ain't gotta do too much for him. But my unsung hero for the Phoenix Suns this season, especially against a lot of the team, would be Jrue Eubanks. I think Jrue Eubanks will play a huge role, especially down the stretch. I'm not buying the bowl shit, but I think down the stretch, Jrue Eubanks.
Not even buying the tiny bit.
No,
not even tiny bit.
Not buying the bowl shit. But I think that Jrue Eubanks, especially down the stretch in games where you need a more mobile big who can switch out and move his feet better, but still be able to rebound and things of that sort. I think Jrue Eubanks will play a huge role for them. And again, I like picking up Grayson Allen. I like picking up Nas Little. Like now you have like when I look at the Suns bench, if I can pull it up real quick.
I like you to want to be too, and to go along with Tim Bieda's job. They
now. I think the Suns can go. So I'm assuming that starting lineup would be Bradley Beal, Devin Booker. I would go Josh Okogie,
KD,
KD and Nurk. And now on the bench, I can throw in Jrue Eubanks. I could throw in Grayson Allen. I could throw in Nas Little, Damian Lee, Eric Gordon. I could throw
You
in
don't want to
Wannabe.
be.
Like, to me, they have at least 5 rotation players that if 5 to 6 rotation
And it's
players
crazy because
that
these
I
are
don't,
real like, rotation players. And
yeah,
like I mean, I say these names like I've said these names to couple people like just talking basketball in the barbershop, talking basketball like at work and stuff, and they like, you don't want to be you man. Like
nah, he was
they
really
got,
good for the Nets last year. He was a very solid
oh
basketball
my,
player.
oh my, yeah. Look, I said that and I got cooked. But
He was
anyways,
solid for the
like
Nets
yeah,
last year.
exactly. People don't know that, but like yeah, I think that surprised people with their
Damian
depth.
Lee, I think, was leading the league in 3-point percentage last year.
Mm-hmm.
At one point in time, like now the Suns literally, I think, like the Suns can go 10 deep. They're kind of a deep team. Like again, like last year, I think one of the main issues that we saw was when KD and Book had to play so many minutes because nobody, like, they didn't have a bench. They had like 7 people. Now you can at least rotate some guys in, and you can get some guys, the 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10 pivotal minutes of rest that they'll need to keep them up for the rest of the season. And also, these guys bound to get hurt. These guys bound to get hurt. They ain't playing 82 games. Only person I think might play 82 games, Book. Bradley Beal gonna miss time. We already know that. Nurk gonna miss some time. We already know that. KD gonna miss some time. We already know that. They gonna miss some time. So now we got some guys who you can, again, you think that you could throw in, and they can, play a solid role for a couple games at a time or a couple minutes at a time in the playoffs, guys that I can trust. But like I said, don't forget the name Jrue Eubanks. I think Jrue Eubanks will play a huge role, just as much as Yusuf Nurkic, if not more than Yusuf Nurkic on this team. So no, I do not think that they got worse losing DeAndre Ayton. I think that they got better. I think that they got better, and for what they need, I think it's a win-win situation for both parties. It's a win for Aiden. Obviously, we can talk about the Blazers next, and because the Blazers have been doing a lot, we can. But I think it's I think it's a win for Aiden. I think Aiden is a guy that can be a 20-10 guy next season, and he was never gonna get that chance to do that in Phoenix. In Phoenix next year, we got Bradley Beal, Devin Booker, and KD. You better get ready to rebound. You better get ready to set screens and rebound. Now he's somewhere where he has a young guard that he can grow with. He can grow with Scoot Henderson. He can grow with Shaedon Sharpe. He can grow with Anthony Simons. He can, grow with these guys. And I think that he can be a 20-10 guy, like a kind of a cornerstone piece for that Blazers franchise for the next 8, 9, 10 years.
Yeah, I would pretty much agree.
But moving on, speaking of the Blazers, the future of the Portland Trail Blazers, I would like to argue what the Blazers have done for Damian Lillard is one of the best hauls we've seen in recent history for any superstar.
Ooh.
He's one of the best hauls. I mean, listen, it's like obviously today they made the big trade. They got Jrue Holiday off the books. They brought in, and also the one thing I didn't mention about the Phoenix situation was the cap situation. Like, obviously, like, we got to realize, like, the salary cap is coming up, and being over that second apron does, like, a lot to you. Aiden's deal is obviously a lot less than what Nurkic is, so there's also that part of it that's in there as well. But Holiday was on the Blazers as part of the trade. He gets traded to Boston. They bring in Time Lord and they bring in Malcolm Brogdon. We can discuss that from the Boston angle after this because I saw your comments on Twitter, which I would like to talk to you about. But so you bring in Time Lord, you bring in Malcolm Brogdon, who are going to play the whole season. Like, I think half of the Blazers star lineup is going to be gone. Jeremy Grant, some contenders are going to want Jeremy Grant possibly, or if Jeremy Grant just wants to spend money. Or if Jeremy Grant just wants to have $150 million in Portland, I'm not mad at them. They get in the Soho house there. You know what I'm saying? Portland. I've been to Portland. It's not a bad city. If he just wants to do that, I'm not mad at him. I'm not mad at him at all. But I think he's a guy that teams can go out and get. They have a Malcolm Brogdon that you can go out and get. You have Robert Williams. You already got picks and assets. I think they got a 2029 first round pick from Boston. I think they got 2 picks, two first rounders from Boston. Like I said, you got 8 in there. They have, like, what do you think about the future of the Trailblazers and how they made out with this whole Damian Lillard fiasco with Dame saying this is where I want to go and I don't want to go nowhere else, and him getting traded to there, and like Dame, I guess there was a report that came out that said that, like, he want to come back, and people were talking about they did Dame dirty. No, they didn't do him dirty.
No, they didn't do him dirty.
You think you finna run around all summer talking about you don't want to play for my franchise, and then you just show up like, oh no, never mind, bro. I just want to be here. Never mind. You can't just handicap us. What the fuck? And like I said, we gotta act like they traded him to the abyss. They put him in a better situation than probably Miami. Granted, have you been to Miami?
Never been to Miami.
I love Miami is great. I would love to get paid $60 million and live in Miami, Florida. It ain't even no sales tax. No. State tax, I think it is. One of them, it ain't that. And you got $60 million in Miami, Florida. I would love that. But as far as playing basketball, he's in a better situation than he would have been in. But what do you think about the future of the Portland Trailblazers? I forget the GM's name, but shout out mans for willing and dealing and playing real life NBA 2K. My GM mode, actually it's called my Eras mode now, but whatever. What do you think about the future of the Portland Trailblazers?
Yeah, I think I'm with you. I think they did a great job with the Dame trade. I think they handled the situation perfectly. I think Dame is kind of insane for believing he had a chance of going back there.
A fucking maniac. He's a maniac.
Utilizing his leverage. I mean, you Damian Lillard, you've done an amazing career for Portland, probably arguably the best player in Portland history, but you 33, 32 now. Keeping you doesn't really change our title odds. Keeping you doesn't really move the needle like that. For him to go back and say, either trade me to Miami, if you can't get me to Miami, I'll come back here, is insane. I think they make the appropriate decision to just be like, no, we already made our plans. We're moving on from you. And I hope Dame don't take it too personal because it's an obvious business move. But I really like how they're moving. I think Aiden is definitely one of those players you want to highlight this year if you play fantasy basketball, or if you're just a big NBA fan, you want to watch some games, you want to highlight him. It could be a huge year for him if they with the Scoot Hendersons and the guards you mentioned between Anthony Simons and those guys. I think if they make him a focal point of their offense, he can be a 20-12 guy. I also think they can get rim protection from him as well. I think he can be a versatile energizer big. I watched some of he was in the Olympics this past summer with the Bahamas. He played there with Eric Gordon, and there was another NBA player. Yeah, we have Eric Gordon and Buddy Hield, the Bahamas. I think if he pretty much do that with more volume, which should be the case in Portland, he'll be a minimum top 8, top 6 big man. The way he runs the floor, he's fast. He's not slow for a big man. He can finish lobs. He can protect the rim. He has a little bit of post move. He can hit a mid range. He can occasionally. I mean, he's not gonna kill you. I'd live with it on the defense, but he can occasionally hit a 3 ball. He's still young. He's a number 1 pick. He was pretty much a unanimous number 1 pick that year out of Arizona. His skill set defined him as that, and he came in with high expectations. I wouldn't say he really. He didn't really live up to expectations, but he was still a very productive NBA player. He still earned undoubtedly a max contract.
He's not a bust.
He's not a bust. No, he's not. I wasn't hitting towards that. I wasn't saying he was a bust, but I'm saying, but he wasn't like what he was like drafted to be. Like he wasn't like wasn't no Anthony Davis number 1 pick type. But I think that this is a great situation for him to live up to his full potential. I think it'll be fun watching him run up and down the court with a team that he likes, organization he likes. Did you see the video of him arriving in Portland? Yes. Boy was happy as hell. He was greeting Chauncey Billups. He was greeting everybody.
Happy to get on the plane in Portland. I've never seen it.
He also said on 2K he changed his jersey to the Blazers quick.
Yeah, immediately.
Aiden is a big 2K player, but I think they did a great. Also, you got. Let me see what else was going on with the. But yeah, also I think Anthony Simons has been an outstanding guard. He's the last player. He's been on that team for about 4 or 5 years now. I think it's possible another breakout year for him. He's already been balling, about 24 last year. Scoot Henderson, like you said, they'll probably end up moving Brogdon and Time Lord. Even if they do keep Time Lord for a bit, that'd be great for Aiden to learn from him. One of the better rim protectors in the league. I think Boston will drastically miss him, I believe. Jeremy Grant, Scoot. But I'm liking Portland. I think quickly bolstered themselves up to one of the better young cores in the league, up there with the OKCs of the world, whatever other teams are building young cores, Detroit's. I think they quickly bolstered themselves up to one of the better young cores in the league. And I'm actually excited to turn on a couple Blazers games this year for sure. I want to make sure I check out, see how they running over there.
I think Time Lord and Brogdon are kind of going to be stuck until like the middle of the year, kind of like, like the January time around there. But yeah, man.
That's like Chris Murray. We didn't even mention him. Keegan Murray's little brother.
Yeah,
that's another young prospect to look out for. Shane Sharp. They got it.
Shane Sharp. I mean, like, look, and now you get to. I mean, obviously, like for Blazers, for the Blazers, how exciting it is to go from Dame Lillard to Scoot Henderson. Like, you had a great guard, you get to hand the keys over to another great guard. And like you said, you get to pair him with a good quality big.
Great guard might be a reach, but I feel you.
I mean, I like what I see. We don't know, but you hope that you go from great guard to great guard. Or at least all-star guard to all-star guard. That's what the hope is. You go from all-star guard to all-star guard. And like you said, you get to pair him with Aiden, who, again, like I said, I think that if you give Aiden 16 shots a game, he'll get you 20 points. I'm sure he'll get you 20 points. I think Aiden may end up being an all-star some maybe a couple years in Portland. Not next season, but I think he might put up all-star numbers next season. He'll be an all-star a couple years in Portland. Like I think this is a great fresh.
Oh, hello. Or am I still here? But yeah, it'll be a great start for Portland in general. I really like what they've been able to do. But moving on to the next part of the trade, they ship. Oh, you gonna finish? Oh, bet.
But yeah, no, like I think that just as a general bright future, their future is brighter this week than it was last week.
Oh, for sure.
Last week's shit was grim. This week is like, oh, okay, the Blazers are. So I think, like, man, great job for the Blazers organization for what they did. And yeah, man, I mean, I think we can leave it there for the Blazers. But I honestly, I think the biggest winners of this trade in 10 years may be the Blazers. If nobody else wins because of this, I think the biggest winner in 10 years could be the Blazers.
I think they also got like what they get, the 2028 or 2027 Milwaukee first round picks. Those picks could be gold.
Oh yeah, yes.
Like,
yes.
Those could be
those
could be Jason Tatum, Jaylen Brown type picks. That Boston got from Brooklyn.
Depending on what happened, those picks can be crazy. And they have Boston's picks. I think they got some other picks like they got their own picks. Now you can actually suck next season. You can actually genuinely suck next season and get an actual number one pick. Like if you keep Dame on the roster, which even when you women, they said they told Dame to sit the last 10 games, try to get a better pick. Like if you keep Dame on the roster, you were never, ever, ever going. You were literally handicapping your franchise. You were never. I don't think Dame is good enough to be the best player on a championship team. I think we've seen that. He's not good enough to be the best player on a team with actual hopes in contending. I think we've seen that.
Yeah.
If Dame is your second best player, though, you might be doing some shit.
Yeah, and the gap between your first and second best player is still that wide, and it's Damian Lillard.
Then you doing some shit. So you were just handicapping your franchise year after year after year after year after year by keeping them there. You release them, you get all these guys in. Again, I think that team could end up being the winners of depending on what happens with everybody else. In 10 years, when we look back, they can end up being the winners of this deal. But the big thing that we all woke up to today, Jrue Holiday is now a Boston Celtic. They traded away Time Lord and Malcolm Brogdon, and like I said, 2 first-round picks. They put Jrue Holiday there. So now the starting lineup is Jrue Holiday, Jaylen Brown, Jason Tatum, Al Horford, and Kristaps Porzingis. I don't really know who's on their bench anymore. Derek White is on their bench. Or do you think they start Derek White and Jrue Holiday?
And then what? Push Tatum to the 4?
I mean, Tatum was already playing the 4.
And then run Porzingis at the 5?
Yeah.
I'm not sure which one they'll do, but I think they'll be fine either way.
I'm not mad at that. What do you think about this deal? Well, I saw what you tweeted about this deal. Mm-hmm. What do you think about this deal a couple hours removed from your tweet?
I kind of pretty much feel the same way. I think it wasn't. I can't say it's a bad move because Jrue Holiday, he has a well-respected NBA player, NBA champion at this point, one former All-Star, All-Defensive Team multiple times. But I just kind of feel like my reaction just kind of feel like it's kind of like a reach, maybe a panic move to respond to the Damian Lillard thing. And I just don't really agree with giving up front court depth in a conference where you are battling against Joel Embiid and Giannis consistently. I like the rotation of those 3. I would have loved the rotation of those between Time Lord, Porzingis, and Horford. I would love that rotation of those 3, especially considering how injury prone Porzingis and Horford's getting older.
Injury prone too, though.
That's
all 3 of them could die.
Exactly. That kind of helps my point. Like, if they want to stay injury prone, at least keep the other ones so that way, like, you increase your chances of one of them being out there. But it just seems kind of like an overreaction. Also, I would have been perfectly fine with running out there with Derek White as my starting point guard. He's also all defensive guard. We saw him; he was absolutely outstanding for the Boston Celtics these past couple years. And pretty much was a great pick for them immediately when they brought him over from San Antonio and they added him to the rotation. He's been a winning basketball player ever since he put on a Celtic jersey. So I would have been more comfortable rolling him out there and matching him up with the guys. But it's not too bad. In the end, basically, what the Celtics did this summer is they swapped Smart and Time Lord for Jrue Holiday and Porzingis.
That's an upgrade.
You think so?
Come on, bro. What are we doing, G? That's an upgrade, bro. That's an upgrade. That's an upgrade. That's an upgrade. If you want to argue about Marcus Smart and Jrue Holiday, I'll take that argument. KP and Time Lord is a fucking upgrade.
I mean,
Come on,
KP
bro.
He's not protecting the rim, and he not protecting the
blocks
rim.
a game. What you mean? Anthony Edwards sat up there and said he think of KP as a rim protector.
He said, I mean, I guess I somewhat, at face value, it seems like it, but just to mess with the chemistry that they already had, and Robert Williams already has, pretty much, he's already done this. He's been we've seen big time defensive stops and big time defensive plays for him already in the playoffs, and that they really catapulted off of, and I'm pretty sure he was big with the Boston fan base. It's tough, but I don't think they'll really. What am I really trying to say? They'll be all right, but it could have possibly been a reach. I don't really see them. Why are you adjusting to Damian Lillard? I mean, I rather just realize you got to know. I feel like you already had the pieces to battle with Damian Lillard. I really like Pritchard as a backup. I feel like it was him time to really go out there and get more minutes between Pritchard, JB, and those guys. I think they're already fine in that area, but we'll see.
I don't think they were adjusting to Damian Lillard. I think they were adjusting to losing Marcus Smart. Because so many times we saw Marcus Smart was kind of like their main play initiator. Can we all agree Jrue Holiday is probably a better at playing the point guard position than Marcus Smart? Can we?
Yeah, but I feel like he also got a little bit of Marcus Smart syndrome with him too, though.
I don't
Jrue
disagree.
does not have the best shot selection at times, just like Marcus Smart, and that was what I feel like where they won getting rid of Marcus Smart, because I feel like Marcus Smart's a little too comfortable in Boston. And I feel like he would hijack the offense a lot, and I feel like he was a big reason why a lot of the times their offense struggled. And with him coming down and shooting those threes when it's 20 seconds left to the shot clock and just doing things like that. But
how they don't do that though?
How you gonna do what?
I think the thing with Marcus Smart was, for whatever reason, the ball just somehow seemed to find him. Now they just did, like, in moment it just seemed to find him. Like, now at least you add Porzingis on the roster. You add a guy who's 7'3", can shoot from anywhere, gives you an actual in-between threat, since Jason Tatum just seems fucking allergic to the mid-range area. He only want to shoot step-back threes and shit. It gives you another in-between threat. And also, KP is still a rim protector, especially if you add him with Horford. Like, obviously, Horford is older now. He's 37 years old. He's not the player that he once used to be. But if you add Horford as your main defender and you add KP to come there and clean up on, like, help side defense, I think KP is a guy. I might sound insane, but with the people he has in front of him, he could be an all defense level type player next year.
It's not too bad. It's not too insane.
I think I think KP can give you 2.5 blocks a game. On this team.
That's fair. We know defense is a little more than blocks, but I do feel you.
Yes, obviously it is. But I'm just talking about as far as like blocking shots. I think he can give you like 2.5 blocks a game. Somebody gives you 2.5 blocks a game, you are all NBA level defender. Am I wrong in saying that?
That's fair.
So I like the move for Boston. When they came out and said Tatum was gonna play point guard, I'm like, oh my God, here we go.
Nah, man, we
do not need to see Jason Tatum playing point guard for a full season. I do agree, especially with the way wings play. They're gonna get the ball, they're gonna handle the ball, they're gonna do what they do. But I think you want to break it up. And adding Holiday as another guy to handle the ball and also another guy to play defense. Like, again, I think that if you look at this team defensively, even if you look at the other guys on the roster, Lamar Stevens, I like Lamar Stevens. Lamar Stevens plays hard as fuck. Like, I watched some of the Cleveland games last year. Lamar Stevens plays hard as hell. Who else they have on the roster? They have
talking about Boston?
Yeah, they have Brickset. They have Delano Banton. So, like, I think this team could arguably be the best defensive team in the league next season.
You like Walsh? The rookie Thomas in the summer league. The rookie Walsh. Yeah, like you said, Banton is a 6'9" Swiss Army. I think this team can pretty much guard everything, can pretty much switch everything. They can go small, they can go really big, obviously, with like Porzingis. So I like the move. Like you said, when you look at it, you just replace Robert Williams, who I do like. I thought Robert Williams was a great defender, but I think that KP can give you most of the things that Robert Williams gave you defensively and still give you 20 points, which Robert Williams cannot give you 20 points. Now, granted, Robert Williams was a very good lob threat. I don't think of KP as a quote-unquote lob threat, which is the thing that maybe you would miss from your, like, offense. But I think KP, but for the lob threat you lose, you gain a 3-point shooter and you gain a guy who can get you 20 points on
What did Porzingis shoot from the field last year? Porzingis shot 50% for the field last year and 40% for three. And he almost gave you a steal a game. Like, I think he could be a guy who give you a block and a steal a game and give you 8 boards and give you 18 points.
Honestly, I had no idea Brad Stevens was this Brad Stevens trying to get them a ship. I didn't know he was just cold blooded. He just shipped out two fan favorites, 2 player favorites. But yeah, it was 2 bold moves that could end up paying off. But just at face value, that's just my personal. Just seemed like it might have been a little too much, but I respect it though.
I like it. Again, I like it. Like, I like Holiday. Again, I think I like Holiday, and the same way you feel about the Celtics is how I feel about the Bucks, because last time I saw the Bucks healthy, when everybody was on the court, granted it was 2 full seasons ago, but last time I saw the Bucks healthy with everybody on the court, they won an NBA championship. Holiday's offense or whatever the fuck he was doing was good enough to win you a championship 2 years ago.
I mean,
It's not like Jrue Holiday, but listen though, it's not like Jrue Holiday, but bro, it's not like Jrue Holiday is out there is completely inept as an offensive player. It's not like he's Eric Snow.
He's not Eric Snow.
Not like granted, yes, he shot 40% in the playoffs last year, which was terrible. The year before
He
shot
40% in the playoffs last year?
Yeah, he shot 40% the year they won. But he gave you 8.7 assists and he gave you 2.4 turnovers. It's not like he's offensively, is he the best? No, but he's not like he's offensively terrible. And again, you're playing with guys, he won't have as much of a scoring burden on him here that he has sometimes in Milwaukee. You have 3 other options that should all be shooting the ball before you. In Milwaukee, arguably, depending on the time, you might have had one. Even if you, maybe not even one. He might have been the main one sometimes, because some situations you don't even want Giannis to have the ball because he can't shoot and he can't shoot free throws. There will never be a situation in Boston in which he would be one of the top 2 options on the court who should be shooting the ball when somebody got to shoot the ball.
That's fair, but I mean, like you said, the ball always ended up in Marcus Smart's situation. And his hand, he was always shooting the ball when it should not have been best.
Yes, but also last year you might have had Robert Williams on the court, or you might have had somebody else
last year.
Yeah, but I'm talking about in the playoffs when he was there.
Oh, okay.
But like you might have had somebody else on the court who was a little bit more offensively inept, as opposed to this year. Like I said, down the stretch, it could be Jrue Holiday, Jaylen Brown, Jason Tatum, Horford, Porzingis, who can't shoot in that lineup. Even if you sub out Horford and you put Derek White, who can't shoot in that lineup. I guess you are a little bit more offensively inept, and you might be better defensively, or you can get the same things defensively that you got last year from these guys.
That's fair.
So again, I like the move. I think the move is dope. And if it don't work out, Jrue on a 1-year deal. Bye-bye, Jrue.
1-year deal? Okay.
Yes, this is the last year of Jrue's deal. Bye-bye, Jrue. We will talk to you at different time.
The Warriors should have waited and tried to get Jrue instead of fucking Chris Paul.
See, here's why I like the Warriors with Chris Paul. The Warriors have been known to not value the basketball.
You talking about turn the ball over a lot?
A whole lot. What is the one thing, if Chris Paul can't do shit else ever in life, what does he do?
Hit a mid-range jumper?
Okay, you just like really didn't want to say not turn the ball over. He doesn't turn the ball over. So you finally get a guy who doesn't turn the ball over with this team that has been a high octane in turnovers for forever, which one of the issues with like Jordan Poole. Steph in the game doing what the fuck ever. Clay in the game shooting whatever. Then Jordan Poole, you can't come in and do what the fuck ever as well. Now everybody, Draymond doing what the fuck ever sometimes. At least you got a guy in Chris Paul who will come in and not turn the ball over, which I think would help the Warriors offense immensely at times. I think Chris Paul, I think Chris Paul can be in the conversation for 6th man of the year next year.
So he's coming off the bench. That's what you think?
Yeah, he coming off the bench to start the game. Yeah, now he might he might finish games, but he's coming off the bench. He's not starting.
I would. That's what, in theory, that's what you would want, but I don't know if that's actually what's going.
Who gonna get benched?
And you want to put. I mean, is Chris Paul going to make Draymond Green more off ball? You want Draymond Green off the ball on offense? I feel like Draymond's best role is when he's out there constructing the offense. You want Draymond Green and Chris Paul out there.
I don't think that's a bad thing, though. Like if Steve Kerr is a mastermind that we all think he is, figure that shit out, brother. You better run a goddamn pick and roll. You better. I mean, because real quick, also you can run pick and rolls and then get Draymond Green in that middle of the floor area where you have so many options to pass the ball out to.
He ain't figure out Team USA.
Boys ain't out Team USA, but also Team USA was not constructed the way the Warriors are constructed.
But they still had a hell of a lot of talent.
They had talent, but how much of that talent is used to not having the ball?
Steve Kerr, the mastermind, he's supposed to figure that out himself.
I don't disagree with you. I'm just saying, how much of the talent that they had Team USA is not used to having the ball?
Same thing, same argument. How much is Draymond used to not having the ball? How much he really uses to deferring to somebody who's gonna come in there and try to
I think a lot. I mean, shit. You play with Kevin Durant, like a lot. I think that this team is more used to it than at the people at Team USA. I also think these guys are smarter basketball minds. Like I trust Chris Paul's basketball mind. I trust Draymond Green's basketball mind. I trust Steph's basketball mind. Clay is insane at times, but I trust his basketball mind. Like I trust these guys' basketball mind to be able to figure it out.
Chris Paul it's kind of Chris Paul basketball mind ain't never won nothing. Like,
it ain't never won nothing. But
you never
it ain't won nothing. But it hasn't been a part of too much losing basketball either. It just gets where it's like, what the fuck? But it ain't been a part of too much losing basketball either. You don't never see Chris Paul not at least in the playoffs.
He gets there.
He not. It might go to hell when he get there, but he get there. But last but not least, one thing I want to talk about is obviously with all these changes in recent days to the Eastern Conference, who is the best team in the East? Do we think it's just a 2-team race, or do we think that there is maybe a third team that can make it a 3-team, or even a 4th team to make it a 4-team race for best team in the Eastern Conference?
It's a 2-way race between Milwaukee and Boston. I feel like those are the two teams. Everybody else kind of out there just participating. We don't really know what's going on with Philly. James Harden is in the club holding up. Daryl Morey is a liar signs, and I do like the Patrick Beverley pickup. I really like the Kelly Oubre pickup, but without a definitive second star and James Harden, unless Tyrese Maxey is willing to bump his production up a little bit to all-star levels, there's a lot of question marks with Philly, so I can't put them in the same tier as those guys. I really, really like New York, but I can't call them a contender just yet. I like their offseason. I'd love the defense teams they'll pick up. But until they can finally get some consistent production from Randall in the postseason, we can't really call them a contender. That's that last chip for them. I kind of like Brooklyn. I do like Brooklyn. I think that Brooklyn was actually my favorite landing spot for Jrue Holiday, because I feel like if they added Jrue Holiday, it would have been I would have penciled them in for a top 3 defense, because you would have rolled out Jrue Holiday, Mikal Bridges, Cam Johnson, Dorian Finney-Smith, and Nick Claxton. I think that's an insane lineup as far as switching goes and whatnot goes. They won't be a contender, but they'll be a really good team. You go to Cleveland, a lot of question marks there. They went out and had completely laid an egg in the playoffs last year when they lost the series they had home court advantage in and were favored in last year in the first round. I don't think Atlanta's taking any more strides. Miami just the two teams who just got to the conference last year, they kind of are all over the place. They got to bring their whole pretty much plan has been kind of ruined. They lost Gabe Vincent and Strus, right?
Max Strus, both gone.
They lost both. Where did Gabe Vincent go?
Lakers.
Okay, yeah. Oh, okay, baby.
But,
yeah. They lost those two guys. So I mean, then you are bringing back Tyler Hero, who wasn't there last year. That'll help, but it's hard to really pencil them in as a contender. I really like what Indiana did, bringing in Obi Toppin. I think Tyrese Halliburton is due for another leap, but I don't really see much. So I think the East is a 2-way race between Milwaukee and Boston. Those two teams have put themselves their management has put themselves in positions to where they just are above everyone else, above their peers.
If Harden cares about playing basketball, because I don't think he's going anywhere this season. Maybe he is, maybe he will. I don't know, but I'm not sure if he's going anywhere this season. And it would be advantageous of James Harden to care about playing basketball this season.
Advantageous
of him to care about playing basketball this season. You like that word, right? It would be advantageous of him to care about playing.
Yes, Stephen A. Smith.
It would be for him to care about playing basketball this season if he would like to maximize his earning potential over the next couple of years. Because Harden is a situation where he could be out of the league.
That's very true.
Harden could be out of the league. He come out here next year and do some bullshit on a 1-year deal, you might be out of the league. Or you might be getting off of vet minimums next year. So you better want to get your ass up there and come in there and play.
His head is a little too big right now, for sure.
He better. So again, I think that a lot of the Philly stuff depends on James Harden. And also I think Philly is on the clock because how many more years we got? Okay, Philly is on the clock. Embiid is on the fucking clock because he's a goddamn swindler too. So I just want to put that out. Embiid is a damn swindler too. But hold on though. Embiid is a Embiid because every year some with Embiid. Some going on with Embiid every year. Swindler. But if Joel, I think Philly is on the clock because Joel Embiid, how many more years we got before he want to get traded?
That's a shit. Don't tell him. Joel Embiid has been must-see TV since he first came into the league.
How many more years we got before he want to go somewhere? It can't be that many. But I think that if Philly, like, look at, and then they have Nick Nurse. I don't know what the fuck he gonna do with this roster because this roster don't look nothing like the roster that he had in Toronto when he won. But you still got Nick Nurse. And I mean, look, you got Embiid, you got Tobias, you got Harden, you got PJ, you got Melton, you got Paul Reed, who I think can play a solid role for them this season. You got Kuzma, you got Tyrese Maxey, who I think can ascend to a all-star level type player this year. You got Damian, you got House, you got Mo Bamba if he has anything left. You got Patrick Beverly. I think Trez got hurt, but you got
Are you bringing PJ back?
Huh?
Is PJ going back?
Yeah. He back. I like Philly. Like, I think this could be a three-team situation between Milwaukee, Boston, and Philly. I like Philly. As long as Harden can come in with his head on straight and come in ready to hoop, I like Philly. Everybody else in the conference, granted, you can't ever count out Miami just because, like, they be figuring it out. There's probably somebody in the Miami. I don't even know what the G League.
G
League. like, bro, it's probably somebody on the fucking Mad Ants that is gonna come in and just start lighting it up from where. So you can never count out Miami. Miami figures it out somehow every year, but just looking at them, I think they're a little bit behind the 8 ball. The Knicks, I fuck with the Knicks, but I still think the Knicks could. I don't. How did the Knicks get better?
RJ Barrett breakout, kind of like how you saying with Tyrese Maxey. RJ Barrett breakout, or maybe some consistency. Or just, I mean, and Randall got to figure out come playoff time. Really, if he can produce the same way, if he can produce the same way he produced in the regular season and playoff time, then the Knicks are a problem. But that's a big if, and we've already seen it twice, and the shit ain't work out.
RJ becoming an all-star to me is the only way that the Knicks get to a different level. Is RJ becoming an all-star, in my personal opinion. Other than that, I don't really see how the Knicks go to a different level outside of the level that they're at right now. The Nets.
Brunson should be an all-star next year. Should be a first-time all-star next year. I feel like Brunson he'll be a first-time all-star.
Yeah, but now you got tape on Brunson for a full season in New York, so we'll see. The Nets, I don't really. The Bulls, no. The Hawks, no. But those three teams, like I said, Philly, Milwaukee, and Boston. I think that it could be a three-way race between those two teams. I'm not gonna count out Philly. I'm not gonna count out Philly.
I just think it's crazy. Your second best player is just marketing how the boss is a liar. Like, that's crazy. Like, I can't. Put no faith.
Okay, look.
Like,
okay, look.
You said it almost like
look. Here is probably what happened. You trade for Harden, right? Cool. Harden takes less money. We have to remember, Harden did not take a max. He took less money. So you could go sign your guys. Probably the handshake agreement was, yo, take less money. We can sign some guys next season. I'll give you the max you want. Now, what probably happened was, play next season, saw the playoffs. Daryl Morey was like, never mind. So he probably did lie to him, technically. He probably is a liar.
Probably not lying. Yeah.
He probably did lie to him. He probably is a liar. Now, him walking around all summer in China with the fucking Chinese people talking about some Daryl Morey is a liar.
That is insane, dude. Like, how
is a liar. And having fucking things in the club coming to you talking about how Daryl Morey is a liar is insane. But he probably did lie to him. But like I said, James Harden, you might want to play basketball this season, brother. You might not want to come in and do that shit you did in Houston.
Not the leverage you got no more. It's not 2018 no more.
You might not want to come in and do that shit you did in Houston, brother. You might want to come in good shape play some of the best basketball you can fucking play.
It's humble basketball.
Maximize your earning potential, or you're gonna be right over there in China. You think you a superstar now? You're gonna be Stephon Marbury part 2. Yeah, you might okay.
He needs a reality check quick, or it could be like the Melo situation or the how
AI situation. We seen it happen bad times. It get dark really quick.
Isaiah Thomas.
It get dark really quick. It gets dark extremely quick. AI wasn't that cook. AI in fucking Denver was averaging 25. He get traded to Pistons. He go to 18. Then he damn near out the league. So you might want. Look. I'm still gonna say my 3 teams is that, because I trust that Harden will come in and do something. And if he doesn't and he wants to tank the season away, all right. But right now, I'm gonna say it's a 3-team race, and my team to beat. I'm gonna say Boston. I'm gonna say Boston is my team. I think Boston is the team with the least amount of weaknesses currently.
Trust that offense now?
Huh?
You trust the offense now?
I trust him more than I trusted it 24 hours ago.
Because Jrue Holiday?
That ain't Porzingis. Like, I trusted it more with Porzingis. Like, we have to act like Porzingis is not a 20-point per game scorer. You have another in-between option. You actually have somebody, like, now your front court can actually score. Tatum's supposed to be in the front court, but he want to be Kobe Bryant. So, fuck it, whatever. Let him do the fucking cool moves. Fine. Now you have a front court who can actually score. Before, you didn't have a front court who could actually put points on the board. Peak Al Horford, not giving you 22 points. Peak Al Horford giving you about 16. And that's prime peak of my powers, Al Horford. So I think that they are the team with the least amount of questions. I have slight questions about Milwaukee's perimeter defense. Even though I think their offense can be absolutely incredible if everything goes correctly. I also have questions about not really. And then Philly, I just have a huge James Harden question. Like, what Harden are we getting? If we getting the Harden's gonna come in locked in, okay, we might have some shit there. If we gonna get the one that's gonna come in with the fat suit, all right, man. So that is my team to beat in the East, is the Boston Celtics. What's your team to beat in the East?
In the East or the West? We just did the East. Mine's is the Bucks. In the East.
In the East is the Bucks.
Yeah.
Okay. Go ahead.
I was talking about that. I just talked about that, right? For my team to be in the East.
Said that they was
I picked up. Yeah.
Real quick before we get out of here, Western Conference. Since we said team to beat in the East, who is your team to beat in the Western Conference?
Oh, I think Denver Nuggets. I think everybody should just unanimously beat the Denver Nuggets. Okay. I just think based on what they did last year and the run Jokic had, and the fact that they're bringing everybody back, excluding
they did lose Bruce Brown and Jeff Green.
Bruce Brown will be back in once the Indiana gonna opt out of his team option next year, and he's actually gonna be right back in Denver next season. I don't think that'll affect him too much because of their depth. They had arguably Christian Braun, one of the most productive rookies we've seen in the finals over the last 10, 20 years. He's gonna get a bigger role. Have Peyton Watson, who's also can take on a bigger role. I don't think that they won't miss him at all. I don't think they were the number 1 seed they cruised through the regular season, and they pretty much also cruise right through the playoffs. And they're bringing back that same core with the same chemistry and whatnot. And I also probably think they'll be more hungry because people was already kind of writing them off a little bit. I think there's no doubt. I think Jokic should have another MVP season. I believe Jamal Murray will throw himself and possibly be his first-time All-Star next year. Michael Porter Jr. should be another one of the better wings in the league, considering he is the 6'10" who can shoot over anybody. He really talked about how he don't even see. There'll be somebody right there in his face. He won't even see him half the time. I think Mike Malone is an outstanding, hilarious coach, hilarious petty coach who's always preparing for whatever and listening to the critics. But I just think that we have to tip our hats to Denver, and I think they based on what they did last season in the regular season and the playoffs, that they are undoubtedly the favorite. But right behind them, I do have the Lakers and the Suns. I believe that I'm going to the Lakers because they're about 10 deep. I feel like last year they showed a lot after the starting off slow and the whole Westbrook situation and bouncing back and not having LeBron for the second half of the regular season for the most part and still being able to push into the playoffs, going about 11-4 with Anthony Davis leading the charge. Austin Reeves making another stride, also arguably leading Team USA this summer. Rui Hachimura was like, he was top 3 for sure on that team. Rui Hachimura.
I said leading them to what?
Oh, to the 4th place. I mean, but anyway, yeah, Rui Hachimura was absolutely outstanding last year in the playoffs. You were able to extend him as well. You bring him back for a full year. Probably going to be just a starting forward for the team. He shot like 45% from 3 in the playoffs, something crazy, about 16 points. You go in the offseason, you added Jackson Hayes. You add Cam Reddish. You add Max Christie. He was one of the standouts in the summer league. I'm not sure how much he'll play, but he's a guy who can give them probably play some productive minutes for the first time in his career. You bring back D'Lo, who's a great trade piece. If because I feel like the Lakers' backcourt is very crowded. But if not, he'll still produce. You bring back Jerry Vanderbilt, one of the better defensive wings in the league. What I feel like he helps them a lot. I feel like one of the biggest questions last year for the Lakers was before the trade deadline, especially, was what wings do they have? Now you got Vanderbilt, Rui. I also really one of my favorite pickups was Taurean Prince. He's a 6'9" wing who shot 40% from 3 before in the past. I think he'll help out a lot. And also feel like he makes Vanderbilt expendable. Vanderbilt D'Lo package could bring you back in something nice. I feel like. Also signed Christian Wood. Christian Wood took him a while to come off the board in free agency. Actually, Jason Kidd is still talking about Christian Wood to this day. The other day in the press conference, he talked about how Christian Wood was very selfish and worried about his shots and whatnot. But hopefully, he can get his head right in LA under LeBron James, Anthony Davis, and him and that winning culture they've established. And you also grabbed Gabe Vincent, the guy who was key in the run for the Heat last year. But at the end, I'm basically just saying the Lakers are a very deep team with a guy leading them in LeBron James and Davis, who've already won the championship together as a core. But I just think that they'll be very, very hard to beat. And I think they'll be a top 5 defense and probably a top 15, top 12 offense next year. And I think that they'll be a top 4 seed at minimum. And also, obviously, the Suns, they acquire Beal this offseason, they acquire Bobo. We talked about how deep they are. Don't need to get into that. But I put them right after the Lakers at 3rd. And also, the way I think Memphis is good, you bring in D Rose to a veteran I feel like they needed for a while. Jaren Jackson is coming back for another year after winning Depoy. They should have a healthy Steven Adams next year. I feel like without him, that hurt.
Yeah, hurt a lot. Brandon Clark too.
Brandon Clark.
Achilles.
Desmond Bane is due for a big year. I think he could possibly extra emphasis on possibly. He could possibly be a first-time All-Star this year, considering he have a higher workload. You said what?
Have you played against him on 2K?
I haven't. Is he a monster?
Don't miss.
For real, I'm at to experience that. But I love the Marcus Smart pickup. Now they're going to be able to roll 2 defensive players of the year, the last 2 defensive players of the year, and they line up at the same time. So I think that'll be fire. I think Marcus Smart it will be big for their culture and what they got going on moving forward, and just a good example for their young players. I like the Grizzlies. I'll probably put them 4th behind the Lakers, Suns, and Nuggets. The Clippers is interesting. I just got the notification. Bleach Report, they just released the article saying, I think Ballmer said it himself, that Kawhi Leonard and Paul George are both 100% healthy heading into training camp. We'll see how long that lasts.
Every year, man.
We'll see how long that lasts. But I guess if they're healthy, I think they also have a shot. But I mean, history shows that they will not be healthy. I like the team. They just signed Josh Primo, the guy who's
horny boy.
Yeah.
Horny boy.
But I also saw what you said. I like your comments on that. I saw what you said on Twitter about how you don't have you trade all your draft picks, so you got to find young talent somewhere.
Yeah, they don't have any young talent, and outside of Josh Primo being horny, extremely horny,
you are wild. G.
He was a lottery pick. He was a lottery pick, and he was the youngest player in the league. Hopefully, hopefully he can stop being horny and get his head on straight, and do something. I don't know. But I would say my team to beat in the West is the Nuggets. And if I had to go past that, I'm gonna still go Memphis. I think what you lose in Dillon Brooks, you gain in Marcus Smart. And And I'm looking for like Santi Altma and Zaire Williams for those guys to step up.
The West is gonna be a dog
I'll
fight.
go the Lakers or Suns after that. Then I'll go the Clippers. And then my surprise team. I've said it before, and my team that maybe they could fuck
Dallas?
around. No, maybe they could fuck around and win 50 games. The OKC Thunder. I'm gonna tell you why. Here's why. You got Shea, who was first team All NBA next season. If Shea is who we think he is, that means you got one of the 15 best players in the league. You still have Jalen Williams. You got Chet Holmgren, who I think could win Rookie of the Year. It can happen if Chet Holmgren can come in and have any type of impact on that team. And don't forget this: they got a whole bunch of picks. They can't use them all, and I think they still got like $10 million worth of fucking cap space, so they can go out and trade for anyone. That's a team that I think can be very active, and if they get the right piece in them with those guys, could maybe win 50 games and fuck around, be a top 4 seed in the Western Conference.
West look like it's about to be a dog fight. I'm not
It
gonna lie,
is.
it's a lot of good teams. I think Dallas will. My sleeper team. I mean, I'm not really a sleeper, but I think Dallas will strike strong, strike
I'm not mad at
hard
that.
next.
There's so
Dallas,
many people that you can
that
go with
Kyrie
in the
Irving.
West.
I love the Grant Williams pickup, and I like their rookie. They might start Derek Lively, the rookie that they drafted.
I think Jaden Hardy can win Most Improved Player.
Oh wow, for real? That's
I think
kind
he
of
can
bold.
average. I think he can get you like 17 off the bench.
17 off the bench.
Yeah, like 15, 16, 17 off the bench. I
If
think
you was to draft him in our sleeper league, that'd be a hell of a steal, and he did that because he
Yeah,
gonna be low.
I can't fucking wait to do the sleeper league this year. I definitely already got my people I'm picking.
You know, I went 16-1 last year. I was actually I read on the app the other day. I went 16-1 last year.
Okay. We'll see about it this
I
year.
went, but I think, and we're gonna make Thomas do it too. He talking about I'm not doing it this year. But I was looking at the comments. He's talking about I'm coming back stronger next year, so I'm gonna hit him with that, and he's gonna have to come back.
Facts, but we can leave it there. We can pick up after media day. Media day is tomorrow. I will be at media day. Media day is always so funny because everybody is so full of life and so full of lies, so full of life and lies. Is media day, life and lies. Everybody's excited and just lying. So we will be at media day. But yeah, man, all y'all out there, enjoy y'all Sunday. Oh, if y'all haven't heard my new song, Swing My Way, go check that out. Go play that. Hope you enjoy it. And which can be found everywhere you want to stream music at. And Joe, get your plug in.
Yeah, thank y'all for tuning in. Preseason pod. Give me on Twitter at the Joel with 2 S's, JOLTSS. On the gram, Joel R. Wilson. All right, y'all.
All right, man. We'll holler at y'all next time.